Gina hated elevators, not because she was afraid of heights, not because she disliked small spaces. She hated elevators because they had a habit of pausing between floors, even when there was no reason to. The apartment building she moved into was old but affordable. The hallway carpets were worn thin and the lights hummed faintly at night. The landlord had warned her that the elevator sometimes acted strange. "It stops between floors," he said, "but it always starts again." Gina smiled politely. She worked late shifts at a hospital across town, often returning home well after midnight. On her first night back in the building, she stepped into the elevator alone. The metal walls reflected her tired face in dull distortion. She pressed the button for the 7th floor. The doors closed. The elevator began to rise. Then it stopped. The lights flickered. The digital floor display blinked blank. Gina sighed. Of course. She pressed the emergency button. Static. Then a soft whisper came through the speaker. "You shouldn't be here!" Her stomach tightened. "This isn't funny," she said. "If this is maintenance, please fix it." Silence. Then the elevator dropped slightly. Not enough to fall, just enough to remind her she was suspended. The display lit up again, but instead of showing a floor number, it showed a single word: stay. Gina's pulse quickened. She pressed every button. Nothing happened. The whisper returned, closer now. "This space belongs to us." The temperature inside the elevator dropped suddenly. Gina could see her breath fog faintly in the air. She turned slowly. In the reflection of the metal wall, she was not alone. Behind her stood 3 figures. Tall, still, featureless. She spun around. The elevator was empty. When she looked back at the reflection, they were gone. The display changed again. Instead of numbers, it now showed the letter G. Then it flickered. Then it showed nothing at all. The elevator began moving again, but not upward. It descended slowly. Gina counted the seconds. 10, 20, 30. The building only had 12 floors. After nearly a full minute, the elevator doors opened. Darkness waited outside. Not a hallway, not a basement, just black emptiness stretching beyond the threshold. Gina stayed inside. The whisper spoke again. "You always take this elevator." It was right. She had used it every night. The same time, the same path. The display flickered back on. It now showed a floor she had never seen before. 13. Her building did not have a 13th floor. The doors began to close. Before they sealed shut, a pale hand reached through the gap. It did not belong to her. It did not belong to anyone alive. The hand gripped the door frame, forcing it open. A face leaned in. It was hers. But the eyes were empty. "You got off last time," it said calmly. "You won't this time." Memory flooded her mind. A flash of falling. A scream cut short. Metal twisting. Gina realized something impossible. She had died here. Months ago. The elevator accident that had been briefly mentioned in local news. A cable malfunction. One fatality. She had never moved into this apartment. She had never left the elevator. She was stuck in the pause between floors. The door slammed shut. The elevator jolted violently. The lights went out. When they flickered back on, the elevator was clean. Empty. The display read 7. The doors opened to a quiet hallway. Later that night, another tenant stepped inside. They pressed the button. The doors closed. The elevator began to rise. Then it stopped. Between floors, and a whisper filled the silence. You shouldn't be here.